Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and discover how you can navigate the Weld County judicial system like an absolute pro. I mean, why pay hefty legal fees or fork over cash to third-party data brokers when you can find exactly what you need yourself for free? Whether you're vetting a new business partner or just doing some historical research, knowing how to quickly grab these public records is honestly kind of a superpower. Seriously, why pay to access public records? So many people shell out expensive subscription charges for information that they literally already have the right to see. If you want to check a contractor's background or maybe just review your own past court history, you can do it yourself. It's fast and it's completely free once you know exactly where to look. And wow, there is a massive amount to look at. To put it in perspective, in 2024 alone, there were 34,518 cases filed in the Weld County combined courts. That's a literal mountain of public data. We're talking civil disputes, criminal cases, traffic tickets, and the best part, it all belongs to the public record. It's yours to see. So here's our agenda for today's explainer. First, why search court records? Second, a step-by-step search guide. Third, tips and troubleshooting. Fourth, privacy and real-life uses. And finally, next steps and our disclaimer. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, Why Search Court Records? Understanding the value. You know, you aren't just looking up old parking tickets here. The sheer variety of available records is actually staggering. We are talking about uncovering civil disputes, running criminal background checks, tracing family history through probate records, or even vetting a new contractor before they start tearing up your kitchen. Basically, it empowers you to independently verify the facts, no middleman required. Moving right along to Section 2, our step-by-step search guide. Let's navigate this fragmented system together. So here is the absolute most crucial thing to understand. Weld County's records are highly fragmented. Yep, there is no single magical search box that does it all. The state courts handled the big stuff: felonies, major civil cases, and probate. But for arrest logs, you actually have to check with the Weld County Sheriff. And local city ordinance violations, well, those are hiding in municipal courts. You really have to know which system to check before you start digging. Let's start with the state courts. To find active dockets, you're going to use the free Colorado Judicial Branch Docket Search Portal. Just select Weld County from the drop-down, pick a date range, and plug in a name. But hey, keep this crucial detail in mind. This portal is basically just a scheduling calendar. It tells you when hearings are happening, but it is definitely not a full-text library where you can just download actual court documents. So, manage those expectations. Now, when you do a search, you'll get a standardized case number that has a 2-letter code in it. You definitely need to know these to decode the file. For instance, CR means criminal felony. DR is domestic relations, like a divorce. And PR, well, it doesn't mean public relations here. It actually means probate. Knowing these codes instantly tells you the nature of the case before you even click. Pretty handy, right? But what if you aren't looking for a court date, but rather an actual arrest record? Well, for that, we leave the judicial branch completely and head over to the Weld County Sheriff's website. They host a daily arrest report that is an absolute goldmine. It's got booking data dating all the way back to 2006. You just search by name or date, and boom, it gives you the charges, the arresting agency, and even links out to the Vine network so you can see if the person is currently in custody. And again, this is all completely free. All right, on to Section 3, Tips and Troubleshooting. Let's make sure you're getting the absolute best results. A super common pitfall is simply formatting your query incorrectly. Honestly, state databases are notoriously literal. An effective search uses the exact standardized format: the 4-digit year, the class code, and the sequential number. If you try to look up a name without a date range, or say you're looking for a local city traffic ticket in the state-level database, yeah, that's just going to leave you incredibly frustrated. Precision is key here. So what if you know a record exists but you just can't find it online? Don't panic. First, verify the jurisdiction. A lot of records like to hide in local municipal courts, think Evans or Windsor, and they don't maintain searchable public databases. You'll actually have to contact their clerks directly. Also, definitely consider if the case was automatically sealed under Colorado statute. That actually happens a lot with resolved criminal convictions. And this brings us to another sneaky hiding spot. If the case involves federal law, constitutional issues, or a bankruptcy, you won't find it in Weld County's systems at all. Not a chance. You'll need to leave the county and state systems entirely and utilize the federal PACER system. Now, PACER normally charges about 10 cents a page, but here's a pro tip for you. They do have administrative exemptions that can sometimes waive these costs if you meet certain criteria. Worth looking into.
Moving to Section 4, Privacy and Real-Life Uses. Let's cover the rules of the road.
In Colorado, public access is governed by two main laws. The Colorado Open Records Act, or CORA, generally assumes that government documents are open and accessible to you. However, when we talk about court and police documents, the Criminal Justice Records Act, the CJRA, comes into play. The CJRA gives official custodians the authority to restrict access if releasing the record would be, say, contrary to the public interest, or if it involves sensitive things like juvenile records or unredacted financial info.
Now, let's say you go down to the courthouse to use their free public computers. You really need to be aware of their privacy policy. The system actively logs your IP address, your specific searches, and the exact documents you access. The state monitors this closely for system security. So remember, you aren't searching invisibly out there. There are also some major legal boundaries regarding how you can actually use this data. Based on the Federal Fair Credit Reporting Act, you absolutely cannot legally use this free DIY database data to deny someone housing as a landlord or to deny them a job as an employer. No exceptions. For official employment or tenancy background checks, you must use a legally compliant FCRA-certified agency. But listen, despite those specific restrictions for employers and landlords, these records still offer massive practical value. Real-life uses happen every single day. Genealogists use probate files to trace family trees. Small business owners look up potential vendors to see if they have a history of being sued for breach of contract. Journalists analyze docket data to spot community trends. And everyday folks representing themselves in court use these free tools to track their own hearing schedules. It's incredibly useful. And finally, Section 5, Next Steps and Disclaimer. What to do when online fails. Remember earlier how we said the online docket is mostly just a calendar? Well, when you need official, full-text documents, like a copy of a divorce decree or a final sentencing order, you do have a few options. You can submit a formal record and document request form online through the state judicial website, or you can physically go down to the Centennial Center at 915th 10th Street in Greeley. Once you're there, you can use the public access terminals right in the clerk's office to view the full register of actions. Let's be very clear about what is free and what isn't, because this trips people up. Viewing the online docket calendars, checking the sheriff's arrest logs, and scrolling through records on the courthouse computer terminal, that is all completely free. But the moment you want a piece of paper to take home, it costs money. Obtaining physical copies runs about 25 cents per page, and if you need an official, stamped, certified document for a legal proceeding, that's a flat statutory fee of $20 per document. Before we wrap up this explainer, we absolutely must state a mandatory disclaimer. The databases we've discussed today are provided as is. The state explicitly declares that the online information does not constitute the official, guaranteed record. Data entry errors happen. We're all human. So if you are dealing with a complex legal situation, relying solely on an online search is pretty risky. You should always consult a qualified attorney for serious legal maneuvering. Thank you so much for joining this explainer. You are now fully equipped to navigate the fragmented but totally fascinating world of Weld County public records. So I leave you with this final thought as you embark on your own investigative journey. With these free tools now right at your fingertips, what hidden history will you uncover in the public record? Dive in, search responsibly, and keep learning.